youorns. Greetings, fellow Watford fans. Omar here, and it's time for the youorns 10-minute take on Leicester City 2, Watford 0. Yeah, the game took place a few days ago now, and Watford got off to a pretty good start in this one. Confident on the road, they were looking to stretch their unbeaten run to 7 games coming out of the international break. Of course, the last game they had played before that break began was against Rotherham, when they romped over the hapless Rotherham side by a score of 5-0 at the Vic. This is going to always be a different kind of affair at the King Power, a place where Watford have not won for a number of years against the Leicester side, who are at the top of the table. They've been there for pretty much all of the championship season so far. And so Leicester were going to prove to be a different kind of test for these Hornets, the Golden Boys, looking, as I said, to make it 7 in a row without defeat. Watford got off to a good start, confident on their away travels, where they had not conceded a goal in their last 2 trips away from the Vic. And Watford held their own. You know, they had some ball movement, they had some life and some energy. They were very well composed defensively. I thought that they showed a lot of confidence going forward. And I think Watford, on balance for much of the first half at least, looked like they were very comfortable. They looked like they belonged at the King Power against this Leicester side. Watford did not take their chances, and I think that was one of the biggest keys of the game. Watford did not take advantage of opportunities, and they were few and far between, but there was a big one in the first half. Rajovic, who literally 6 yards out, scuffed his shot, and it went wide. I think that was the biggest moment of that first half for Watford, because after that, Leicester began to grow into the game. Watford got off to a better start than Leicester did, but Leicester were the ones who by far finished the half much, much stronger. Daniel Bachmann sprung into action on a number of occasions in that first half, and that would be the shape of things to come in this game. Leicester City going awfully close on a number of occasions late on in the first half, and they had begun to take control of the game from there. And only the halftime whistle prevented them really from completely dominating the rest of that first half. And then the second half came, and it was really a tale of 2 halves, a Jekyll and Hyde Watford that we've seen on a number of occasions in the past. And it happened again in this game, as Leicester really stamped their authority on the game. I think in the second half, they just kept coming at Watford the way that Watford kept coming at Plymouth. Remember that game, second game of the season at the Vic, where Watford just battered Plymouth but could not find a way through. And it looked that way in this game. Leicester, for the most part, did exactly the same thing in the second half to Watford at the King Power on Saturday, and they could not find their way through until around the 80th minute or thereabouts. Just after that, I think, Jamie Vardy getting a goal. Poor defending, it should be said, from Watford on a set piece. And it was Vardy who was quickest to the rebound from a great save by Daniel Bachmann, who, as I said, was busy pretty much the entire second half and parts of the first. Great save from him, really a brilliant save from him to stop it from going in. But the parry came to an on-rushing Jamie Vardy, and Jamie Vardy, who had missed a couple of sitters literally before that moment, did not miss this one. He smashed it into the back of the net, and that was your winning goal for Leicester. Watford, I thought, did not bring the energy and the intensity required in this game, and it was a bit of folly from the goalkeeper, who had a good game. I mean, he kept this from being a 5 or 6-0 hiding for Watford as far as the scoreline was concerned. But it was Daniel Bachmann who kind of really soured the proceedings himself, getting a silly yellow card for dissent with the ref, and then literally about 5 or 6 minutes later getting another yellow card, bringing Jamie Vardy down. Professional foul in the penalty box. It was a needless one, really, as far as I was concerned. And so once you get that second foul yellow card, you are gone. And he was out the game. Watford had made all their subs, and there we go. Ryan Porteous had to go in goal, and that was that. He dived the right way, but Vardy's shot was way too powerful and way too fast for Ryan Porteous to have a chance to even get a hand on it. It was a good effort from Porteous. At least he dived the right way, but it was a goal nonetheless from the penalty spot for Vardy late on after that. And that was Watford, done and dusted by Leicester, who deserved to win. In fact, deserved to score more than just the 2 goals that they did score. Again, Watford have not done well at the King Power, and the King Power has become a real house of horrors for Watford over the years. In the Premier League, the last time Watford were there, they lost both games that they had to play against Leicester. Well, at least one in the Premier League and one in the FA Cup in the space of a 2-month stretch, where they were beaten in a very snowy King Power 4-2, and then they were hammered 4-1 in the FA Cup just a month or 2 later. So it's not been a good place for Watford of late. But Watford, again, I think the performance in the second half, not good enough. It seemed as if Watford reverted to capitulating rather than fighting in the second half. And Watford didn't really trouble their goalkeeper. There was a shot from Ryan Porteous late in the game. He should have scored in. It would have made the game a bit more interesting. But the fact is, Watford never really came to grips with this Leicester side in the second half. Didn't match their intensity. Were not disciplined enough. In fact, lack of discipline was a big, big problem in this game. And as I've said a number of times during the earlier parts of this season, lack of discipline is something that Watford have absolutely been trademarked for. They have not had it in a lot of these games that they've not played well in or have lost. And this was no exception. 7 yellow cards at least by my count. And the manager himself, Val Ishmael, got one. And Val Ishmael, I think, was guilty of not putting on his subs a little bit earlier in this game. Tom Ince did not look sharp, and I think he should have been taken off a lot earlier. And then the likes of Martins and Esprit, who came on, I think, way too late in the 84th, 85th minute. Way too late. The game was already up then. And then, look, they did have an impact, but again, not enough time to really make something stick. So that really is the story of this game. Unfortunately, Watford were not able to get the job done. And not only that, they suffered their first defeat in 7 matches. And they will now go on to take on Norwich. In fact, that game is coming up very, very soon indeed. Watford have to flush this one away and have a much more better balance in their play, both first half and second half, in order to have a chance to win these games away from home. And hopefully their performances at home and away have a better balance to them, first half and second. And of course, discipline remains the key. This has been the YouOrns 10-minute take.